What's up, everybody? Jason Moss here, coming at you live again, answering real estate investor SEO questions. Today is September 2nd, 2025. So hopefully everybody out there had a great Labor Day weekend. Let me make sure one thing is working here real quick, and then I will get to the questions here. So bear with me. Okay, perfect. All right. So, all right, let's get to the questions. So let's change this up here. Okay, there we go. Hopefully you can still see everything. I think I have it at a good size. All right. So first question is, hey, Jason, do you only work with real estate investors? I think you do, but I wanted to make sure I found you on YouTube. Thanks. That is from Roger. So yes, Roger, I do only work with real estate investors. Only been working with real estate investors since about 3 years ago at this point. I used to work with, everybody else. A lot of HVAC guys, roofers, hotels, even fishing guides up in Alaska. I was working with everybody, but real estate investors is where my focus is at the moment. And that's all I do. So if you are a real estate investor, feel free to reach out. If you're not, you can still reach out. I might have a referral for you or somewhere where that you can go that can where they can specialize in helping you, because yes, I do believe in working with an SEO that only works in your industry, industry specific SEO guy, because they're going to know your industry the best, and they're going to be able to rinse and repeat everything and just make everything super easy for yourself. Okay. So you always get the best results with an industry specific SEO guy. All right. Or whatever you're doing, PPC or direct mail or whatever it might be. Okay. Next question. Maybe I should highlight these. All right. Next question is AI going to kill SEO? Like, is it worth still doing? That's from Candace. And Candace, is AI going to kill SEO? No. Okay. Like, I don't want to be that guy that is just, oh, AI is not going to do anything, blah, blah, blah. Like, SEO is king forever. Like, you're never gonna, unseat it or whatever. And I don't want to be that guy. AI is going to change things, yes, but it's just like anything else that comes around over the years. Like, I've been doing SEO since 2010, and there have been so many changes. It'll make your head spin. So the thing is AI going to change things? Sure, but it's the same thing. It's adapt or die, right? You just have to embrace it for what it is, see how it can help you, and adapt. AI really helps out with SEO with a lot of different things. We implement SEO, or excuse me, we implement AI into a lot of the different things that we're doing these days, and it makes things a heck of a lot easier for certain things like getting content or optimizing certain pages or little tedious task that normally I would have to hire a VA for. I can just have like ChatGPT or Grok spit it out real quick. So it's very helpful for certain things. All right. But to be honest, like, SEO and AI, they go hand in hand a lot. Okay. There's a lot of things that AI is helping with SEO, and there's a lot of SEO things that help with AI. For instance, like, I have a few clients right now that are getting a ton of leads from AI, from ChatGPT, and from Grok. Like, people are going on those platforms and they're searching on there instead of Google, right? Or instead of Bing. They're searching in there and they are getting recommended or referred in the ChatGPT answers. Okay. And that's ultimately what you want to do. That's like the next play, is to optimize your content and your brand for AI searches. All right. Which is a huge, huge thing. Okay. So AI is not going to kill SEO. SEO is not going to kill AI. Like, they're going to work hand in hand together. All right. There's a lot of different things that they can do together to work seamlessly. All right. But that's a very, very good question, Candace. A lot of people do have that concern or scare, but it's just adapt or die. They're going to work together. SEO, they've been saying SEO is dead for, forever. This is going to kill SEO. This is going to kill SEO. This is going to kill SEO. And it doesn't, right? It's just, it changes, it evolves over time. Someone said the other day, SEO isn't search engine optimization. It's more like search everywhere optimization, right? Because you don't want it just in the search engines. You want it also in like AI and LLMs and all that different stuff. So it's going to work hand in hand. It's nothing is going away. All right. You just have to adapt or die. Sorry, that was a long-winded answer, Candace, but that's a big thing a lot of people are scared about these days. All right. Let's see here. Next question is from Janet. All right. And that question is, what's an easy way to capture more leads instantly on my website? An easy way to capture more leads instantly on your website. So I'm assuming, you just want like an easy thing where you're not really doing anything crazy. You don't have to really wait around. You're just trying to capture more leads from the traffic that you already have. And one thing that I like to run, and that comes to mind instantly, is a pop-up form. Okay, so I like to use a blanket style pop-up form. And there's lots of programs out there that can do it. Like, you can use Opt-in Monster or ConvertBox. ConvertBox is the one that I use. But there's a lot that do the same thing, right? The tool doesn't really matter. But anyway, when someone goes to your website and they try to exit the website, it pulls up a pop-up that's just a blanket pop-up. It covers the entire screen. And it says, hey, get your free quote, get your cash offer on your house before you leave. It takes 30 seconds, right? Just something quick like that. And all the websites that I run that on get an average between, it really depends, but I always see usually between like 1.5 to sometimes like a 4% increase in leads, which is huge. So like, even if the average is 2%, for every 100 visits that you get, you're getting 2 extra leads. I mean, that's huge, because even like some of the beginner websites out there get roughly 10 visits per day, right? That's very, very, very little traffic if you're getting somewhere in the range of like 10 visits a day. So that means like every 10 days, you're getting an extra lead that you would not have gotten. Okay. Which, and we know in this industry, it doesn't take that many leads for you to get a deal. And like, those deals are just worth so much money, right? There's a lot of profit there. So that's an easy way to do it, is just like a pop-up form. Like I said, I like to do like a blanket one where it covers the entire screen. But yeah, usually getting like a 2 to 3, sometimes 4% increase on the overall leads on the website. And if you have a lot of traffic coming in, maybe you have a stronger brand where you're getting, 30, 40, 50 visits a day, right? You can get a lot of extra leads, like a lot, just from something simple like that, where you're capturing someone that is exiting your website. So you're not really being intrusive. All right. You're not trying to, break up the flow of what they're doing. They're trying to exit the website, and then you're coming in and saying, hey, just get this quote before you leave. Right. So that works really, really good. All right. You can also use like chat boxes on there. Chat boxes can sometimes work. I do have good results with that, but like the exit pop-up is normally the best. Okay. Next question is from Timothy. And he says, I feel late to the game. I'm in a big metro. How can I compete with websites that have been around for years? All right. And that's actually a really good question. because there's a lot of, I'm sorry, something popped up over here on my screen. There's a lot of people coming into the game at this point in time, and they're going to Google, they're searching their main keywords, and they're seeing these guys that have really, really well built out websites. They have, 100 different reviews on Google Business Profile. They've been around for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And it's like, how do you compete with that? Because, one thing that you can't really fake on Google is age, right? You can't come into the game and, instantly show Google that, you have like a 10-year-old website. Like you just can't fake that. They can see when the domain was registered. They can see when your website went live. Like you can't fake it, right? So how do you compete with it? Well, the main way you compete with it is, with good SEO and mainly traffic. Actually, if you have a way of getting traffic to your website, that is going to trump everything, because traffic is a huge, huge, huge signal to Google that people are active on your website, and they might like what you're doing. There's a reason on their website, and they're browsing around, they're clicking on pages, things like that. So whether you're pushing traffic from SEO or PPC or Facebook ads or direct mail or something like that, you got to get traffic to the website, get it flowing. And that's ultimately how you can compete. Now, you do have to have a good website. It would highly help you to have good SEO. Like having backlinks is really going to help. And I'm not talking spam backlinks. Please don't go to Fiverr and order 10,000 backlinks for $5, because Google's going to see right through that and they're going to slap you. All right. So don't do that, but get good SEO. All right. You have to get mentioned out there on the web, to trump these other guys. Now, yeah, you can't fake traffic, or excuse me, you can't fake age on your website. So the guys that have been around for years, there's nothing you can do about that. But you can stay in your lane, do what you do, and you still can compete. Doing everything else, like all the marketing, all the SEO, getting traffic to the website, word of mouth, you can definitely compete. It happens all the time. I look at I forget what Ahrefs calls it, but where you can see like a timeline of who's ranked in the top 10. And you can see a lot of times you might have like some really, really strong old guys up there in the top 10. Sorry, my dog is driving me nuts. You might see some old guys up there in the top 10, but then all of a sudden, here comes a new guy. Here comes a new guy. So it does happen, all right? But you have to have those things in place. You got to have a good performing website, good SEO, and you got to have traffic. You got to have traffic to the website, okay? Next question is from Lee. Do you have any Google Business Profile tips? Well, I have a lot of Google Business Profile tips. I mean, there's a lot of different things out there that you can do. I'm assuming that you mean ranking a little bit better so you get more traffic to the website. One thing that you can do that a lot of people overlook is simply by doing your question and answers on the Google Business Profile. So I come across them all the time. Like very few people do them. Google gives you an option inside your Google Business Profile to do Q&As. Okay. First off, you should have Q&As on your website. Okay. Talking about FAQs, frequently asked questions. All right. So why do people go to your website? They go to your website to get their questions answered. What better way to do that than by having FAQs on your website? So the same FAQs that you have on your website, run them on your Google Business Profile. And you can do them yourself, okay? You do not have to wait for other people to ask the questions on your Google Business Profile. It has the option in there for you to go in there, ask the question yourself and answer it yourself, okay? It does not hurt you whatsoever to do that. They have the option to do it, all right? So put a whole bunch of FAQs on there And remember to nicely and neatly put your keywords in those FAQs. Okay. Don't keyword stuff, but you can easily put in your set of keywords, your main set of keywords in those FAQs. You can use it in the question and you can also use it in the answer. Okay. I'm not going to get into the details about all of that, but put FAQs on your Google business profile. The other thing is answering responding to reviews that you get on your Google business profile. I see so many people never respond to the reviews, okay, which is a huge no-no. Google wants to see, Google wants to see that you reply to the review, okay, first off, but don't just reply with thanks or it was great doing business with you or have a good day. I don't know. It's stupid. It doesn't serve a purpose by just responding that way. Respond with intention. Okay. Respond, call them out by name and say, thank you for trusting me and buying your house in Indianapolis. Okay. So you're dropping those keywords in there, buying your house in Indianapolis, right? Google picks up on all of that stuff, okay? Or whatever your niche is, all right? Just respond with your keywords in the answer, okay? You don't have to keyword stuff, but you can just nicely and neatly drop in keywords here and there, okay? Google crawls all of it. And you can tell that actually by when you're doing a search in maps, a lot of times in your listing or in the listings that it's ranking, it'll have like a little snippet of like a review and it'll have the keywords highlighted. So Google's crawling all of that. Okay, so that's a very, very easy Google business profile tip that's overlooked. Putting in all your FAQs and also responding to reviews with keywords entered in there. Okay. Next question is from Abdul, and that is, I saw your SEO advice about not blogging. Are you for real? I thought blogging was important. It's a good question. I think that was on maybe the last live, or actually I think I did it on my little SEO advice series that I've been posting lately about not blogging. And yes, I stand by that. I am for real. Look, here's the thing. I talk about this a lot because a lot of people have follow-up questions about it. Kind of hit a little nerve with a lot of people. Okay. But you do not have to blog to rank. Okay. Now you can blog and it can help your website to rank for more additional keywords. But the reason I do not advise it is because most people do not know what they're doing and they're going to keyword cannibalize their site or build so many competing pages that it hurts the site in the end. Okay. And that's not trying to be mean or anything. I'm not trying to be mean by saying you don't know what you're doing. Okay. But you don't. All right. Because you're going to have a page on your website, whether it's the home page or whether it's your city page, that you're actually trying to rank for keywords. All right. And then you're going to go write a blog post and you're going to mention some of those keywords. All right. So you're going to mention in there, maybe your city page is like, we buy houses St. Louis. Right. But then on your blog post, you go and write about selling your house fast during divorce in St. Louis. Right. What's the problem with that? All right. Your We Buy Houses St. Louis page is actually the page that you want to rank. That's your city page, right? Maybe it already has rankings. Maybe you're on page 1. Okay. You're in positions 1 through 10. You're on page 1 of Google for the We Buy Houses St. Louis page. Then you go and write a blog post about selling your house fast during divorce in St. Louis. All right. Now you have two different entities, or I shouldn't say entities. You have two different URLs. Okay. Two different things that can be ranked in Google, right? You are focused on the same keywords, we buy houses St. Louis and sell my house fast. During the divorce part doesn't matter because you still have selling my house fast in St. Louis. All right. You're still going to be using those keywords, selling my house fast in St. Louis. You're probably going to mention in your blog post, we buy houses fast during divorce in St. Louis, right? So now you have we buy houses in there. So it's the same set of keywords on the same city. Okay. So you have two different items now, two different URLs that Google is seeing for the same keywords. Yes, this one mentions divorce a little bit more, but I bet over here on this page, you do mention divorce as one of the reasons that you buy, right? So it's really not that big of a difference. The bottom line is you have the same set of keywords that you're trying to rank on two different URLs. Now Google's confused. Now Google doesn't know what to do. Okay. They're like, well, do we rank this page or do we rank this page? This page is more optimized than their city page. So maybe we should rank this page. And then all of a sudden your blog post is starting to, trickle up and you have two competing pages. Okay. They're going after the same set of keywords. They're competing now on your same website. Google doesn't know what to do. So a lot of times they will take both of those URLs and they'll drop them to the second page. Okay. And you can never get one of those back up to the first page, right? The only way to fix that is to delete one of them and 301 redirect it to the other. That's what I would do if they were both indexed. But that's why I don't recommend blogging, right? Because it's so easy to do. It's so easy to do. I've even done it on my websites, some of my different websites that I've built over the years. And a couple months go by and I'm like, why is this dropping? And then I go and look at my blog post that I made and I'm like, how did I even do that? Like I completely just did not think about that there. And I'm mentioning the same keywords here in this blog post that I am over here on my service page that I'm trying to rank. And it's like, it's so easy to do. So that's why I don't recommend blogging. You just don't have to do it, right? There are ways to do it safely, but it's easier if you don't. Okay. Simple as that. If you are doing it for like a whole bunch of cities and you're in a metro, blog on the state level. Don't blog on the city level, which, you still have to be careful even there. But if you have further questions about it, just feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help. Next question is from Wahid. Another SEO guy I was talking to said, I don't need links to rank. Is that true? I find that hard to believe, but he was very serious about it. All right. I'm not going to say his name, but I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking to. Okay. And I can tell you right now, if I am correct on who you're talking to, it's complete BS. Okay. It's not true. Okay. I don't even care who you're talking to. All right. You have to have links to rank. Okay. It's just how it works. All right. And I'm not just saying that to be on the other end of the spectrum there. Okay. You have to have links to rank. All right. It's just how it goes. Here's the thing. You can have the coolest website in the world, the fanciest website, the most optimized website. It is the most user-friendly website in the world, right? In your niche, in your industry, it answers every question. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Okay. But if it is just a published website out there on the web, there's billions of websites. Okay. Please tell me how anybody is going to find it without links. Okay. Links are votes of confidence in Google's eyes. Okay. If nobody links to your website, that means nobody agrees with it. Nobody says, yes, you need to visit this website. It answers the questions. You need to go here. So here's a backlink. Like if nobody links to it, it's not going to rank. Okay. It's simple as that. You have to have links to rank, especially local business sites. Like unless you're the only guy in your area that's doing what you do, you have to have links to rank. And I'm telling you right now, even in the smallest areas, there's people doing what you're doing. Okay. So yes, you have to have links to rank. And once again, Wahid, if that is the guy that I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about, go and look at his backlinks. Throw his website in Ahrefs and tell me that he doesn't have backlinks. Okay. Because he's got a ton of backlinks. He builds backlinks. That's how you rank. It's simple as that. You have to have backlinks to rank. Okay. All right. I digress. Let's go to the last question. Last question from Timmy. How do I rank in AI better? I want leads from ChatGPT. All right. Don't we all? Right. I have a few clients that are getting a lot of leads from ChatGPT. And it's pretty cool to see. And it seems like it's increasing quite a bit as of late. You know, the thing that rings true about those clients that are getting the leads in ChatGPT and in Grok and things like that they are more established brands. Okay. They are not I shouldn't say fly by night company, but they are the ones that have a more established brand. They've been around for a little bit longer, which you don't necessarily have to be around for a little bit longer, but they just have more content and more things at play out there in the interwebs. Now, you can be a new company and you can push out all these different things aggressively, but press releases really, really help. Okay, because what does ChatGPT and what does Grok do when you give it a query, right? It like Grok, I use Grok the most, and it goes into like think mode, right? And it starts going through 20, 25, sometimes 30 different websites that are around that topic, and it's looking for all these different things, and then it is coming up with its answer, right? And if it's crawling the web, then you have to have those different things out there. So it's crawling different things like your press releases. It's crawling blog posts. It's crawling mentions of your brand and backlinks of your brand. It can see all these different things. So in their answer, it will, use you as one of the sources, or not the sources, but it'll use you as the answer, right? It'll recommend you. So that's the thing. There's a lot of different ways that you can rank better in AI. But main thing is like pushing out content about your brand. Okay. That would be press releases. It would be getting guest posts from different websites. It would be getting, this is a huge one, getting listed in like top 10 list, or things like that, where they're mentioning your brand and telling how good you are. And a lot of times it is in like a top 10 list, like the top 10 home buyers in St. Louis or something along those lines. Top 10 lists are huge. Press releases are huge. Guest posts, just having more mentions of your brand. You can do these I don't know if artificially is the right word, but there's services and there's gigs that you can purchase, where it's like building out your branded content on Web 2.0s, which is just like a blog spot or a WordPress site or Blogger, or LiveJournal or something like that. You just have to have more and more and more and more content about your brand out there on the web, so it builds out your branded entity, your branded asset. All right. And ChatGPT and Grok and all these different things can crawl all of these different mentions and information about your business, right? So there are ways that you can speed it up, but really focus on, getting your brand out there by doing press releases and getting in like those top 10 lists, things like that. Okay. Getting listed on directory sites, citation sites. You got to be listed as many places as you possibly can. All right. which in a way is exactly what we've been talking about for 10 plus years now. It's, now we just have AI put into it, but like the people that were doing that 10 years ago are reaping the rewards now because AI has all of this stuff to crawl about their brand. All right. So it's like, in a way, SEO hasn't changed. It's just sort of adapted over time. So you just got to put in the work and, get it out there. So that is all the questions I have today. If you have other questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I go through all the comments on all these different platforms. And you can also email me, of course, text message. All my information should be down there in the description. But yeah, and if you are if you're a real estate investor and you're looking to have questions like this answered on the daily, you can always join my Facebook group. I will have that in the description below as well. But come join us. We have like almost 1,500 people in there. We answer questions all the time. So I'll see you guys on the next live. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.